evening. Thank you for joining us for the January 28th Board of Selectmen's meeting. If everybody would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under announcements, have a reminder that all dog licenses are due by this Friday. If you do not register your dog prior to February 1st, there is a late fee of $25. So you can come into Town Hall, make sure you have your rabies certificate with you, and you can also register online as well. Additions or deletions to the agenda? Okay. We have no appointments this evening. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak? Seeing none. Under correspondence, we have Representative Libby's newsletter, Senator Tuttle's newsletter, the Assessor Agent's 2014 schedule, Town Clerk report, and seasonal road closing information. Reports and staff initiatives, Assessors Agents to discuss, vote on abatements, and approve the supplemental tax warrant.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the board. You should have the package. We had a revision, and that's why that was underneath the report from Gary. You're being asked tonight to vote on the abatements. There are 29 of them. They are all due to the computer problems that we had, and they're also at the same time tonight via this Excel document be supplemented. So I'm at your pleasure to see how you want to handle the 29.
I don't have that Excel document.
It's this.
This is an expense report.
No, check under Gary's report. Oh, do we have the extra one? Can I have the book, please? Here.
How many more of these can we expect?
John,
Well, as I indicated in an earlier meeting, we've reached what I would say is the end. These are the ones that were involved in the second half of the fall up until now, and I don't see any in sight. I have none on my desk waiting, so this looks like the end.
So let's deal with the abatements first. So that's going to be number 1463 all the way to 1490. So is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. And then we have the supplemental tax warrant for $77,986.69. Is there a motion for the supplemental tax warrant?
I'll move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing
So
none?
what is this? What is it? What are you talking about here? What are we doing?
The supplemental tax warrant. So this is going to be basically the payment of what's on this document.
Oh, okay.
So it's $77,986.69.
These are supplemental tax bills that are going out. We've abated the ones that were incorrect,
Right.
and these are the corrected ones, and they're going out in the mail, I believe, tomorrow, and we will be collecting that money.
Okay.
So the bottom line is we abated $56,420, and we're supplementing tomorrow $77,986. It's a plus of $21,500. So
Okay, thank you.
it's working in our favor.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the supplemental tax warrant? All right. Anything else, Jerry?
That's it. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thanks. So that's going to get signed. Code enforcement officer for an update on Lada auto sales.
For your request, I've done a lap through town, focused primarily on the,
All right, let's do Lada auto sales first.
okay. Lada Auto Sales, I have a picture here, I'll pass around to you briefly. Lada Auto Sales is in the hands of the town attorney. She has advised that we would have a tough time in court with the number of cars and the way it's operating, where the town did, and I've told you this before, where the town did condone it and give permits to the operator over the past 6 years. The mobile home that's there is still, I'm going to say a quarter of it is still standing, about 3/4 of it is down. I took a picture today for the latest and greatest. I'm sorry to say it's still not down. If we take it to court and we take him to court, by the time it gets through the court system, at the rate it's going, it'll be down. We can spend money. I've seen this kind of thing happen. We had, when we're at the past city I worked in, we had a place in the corner of Common Street and Wharf Street that went to court, and we worked on it for 2 years. The guy finally didn't get it cleaned up. We took it to court. The judge said, you've got 90 more days to clean it up. The guy didn't clean it up. We took him back to court, the judge, for contempt of court, and the judge gave him 60 more days to clean it up, and that's just how these things work. We can take this to court. It's been my experience with these, but naturally it's your decision. And I'll get in touch with Natalie again tomorrow if you want to go this way. It is coming down. I know it's very slowly. It's a one-man show. He's the only employee, and it's been about 10 below zero, wind chill every day for the past 3 weeks. And if that doesn't matter, then I'll just have Natalie take it to court tomorrow.
So we directed that needed to come down because it was a dangerous structure.
Yep.
Now, under the statute for dangerous structures, isn't there a remedy that the town can remove the structure if it's dangerous and then recoup the cost without
could.
having to go through all the rigmarole of going to court?
I'll look into that. I'll talk to Natalie about it tomorrow morning.
So I think the board has been very clear that we want that mobile home gone.
Yep.
And we're not going to
This is
force around with it. It's got to
Okay.
come down.
This is what it looks like today, from the back.
I go by that every day.
I know, it's
And
so
I
close
don't-
to your house.
I don't see any change there. And I feel you have given him, and
Looks like it did
still
last
give
year.
him, all kinds of leeway and excuses. I mean, it's supposed to have been down November 30th or 15th.
That was his promise,
It
right?
wasn't 15 below then.
Good.
So I say we do everything we can to get it out of there.
Okay.
I think you'll find that's the consensus of
Okay.
the board, Mark.
In
When
that
you
case,
check with Natalie, find out about imposing a fine on a daily basis until he gets that down, how feasible that is.
well, what I'll do is I'll just take the folder and go see Natalie rather than fax and call and so forth. I'll set up an appointment. I know she's very busy. She's the town attorney for about 25 different towns. But I know she'll fit us in this week, and I'll go meet with her with pictures and the entire file. The file is about that thick. I do have,
Gary?
Maybe we should zero in with her to see whether or not it's cheaper for us to just take it down and issue a supplemental bill. than go through what you and I are familiar with that can be never-ending attorney's fees.
I'm familiar with supplemental bills for installing septic systems. The town has done that for 3 people, I believe.
Let's see if we could do that. It might be a lot cheaper. It's not a big job
Yeah.
to take that down, haul it away.
It'd probably be the disposal, if there's any asbestos in there, the insulation. I don't know how old that trailer is.
Oh, it's, I don't think there's any asbestos in it, but you don't need DEP approval for asbestos removal if it's less than a 4-family. But I did invite Mr. Garnet, did invite him here tonight, and I told him I figured it would be about 6:30 when we were discussing his building. And because he was up there, he wasn't there all day. I guess he got in there at 4 o'clock because he called me. I did invite him to the meeting tonight. He may show up here in 15 minutes, I'm not sure. But I will get together with Natalie tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll get it done as soon as possible. I do have some other pictures I'll go through with you another time. But I've made an inventory of other buildings in town that need to come down. I've got 11 here. Some of them are little eyesores that have been here forever, and I guess people are just so used to seeing them that they don't really draw the attention at 55 miles an hour, but they are pretty sad looking. So I've got the inventory, photos, owners, and they'll be getting letters this week. Okay? Thank you.
Moving on, road commissioner to discuss private entities plowing town roads. Came up in December that AT&T needed to get some equipment up to their tower, so they hired somebody to plow McLucas Road. And then Doug and I had some conversations, and we talked about it on the board a little bit. But Doug certainly had some concerns about that happening and damage that might have been done to the road after he had recently done some work to it. And then it kind of opens up the conversation a little bit more as to what other town roads do we have where people are in the winter months going and plowing it. Christina did collect some information and put it in our packets about seasonal closing of ways. And if you read through that at all, there is one area that in the packet that discussed the town potentially having some liability if we have a road that isn't maintained in the winter and a private person comes in and plows it. It's not going to be to the standards that the town would have a road cleared. And if something happens, then the town potentially could be liable, or at the very least incur some expenses defending itself. So Doug, what did you have for information?
Well, for years, we've gone out and posted these roads to closing winter roads. I haven't done it. The last few years, Fred was in, he didn't do it. But as I read the law, which appears to have been possibly updated sometime, the date on this says November 9th, Chapter 5, temporary closings and weight restrictions. And it sets up a standard to stop people from using these roads in the winter other than snowmobiles and four-wheelers. The exception to that is logging operations. And it's a 4-step procedure, which is listed out in the paperwork that you have. Said that you have a public hearing and you go through the necessary steps. You can do these for 1 year, or you can do them for 10 years. I would think that we would do this for the upcoming season, and we would do it on a yearly basis. Things change, and to alter it is more trouble than to just do it on a yearly basis and upgrade your ordinance once a year. And if you go for a 10-year closing, then if for some reason well, we'll use the McLucas Road, okay? It says that it is a town road, and if somebody were to build a house further up the road, it says we can't alter the winter closing for a year. So if we did it in July and somebody built a house in November, technically, we couldn't plow it and they couldn't plow it, and it'd have to be a year after we did it. According to the law, it says a winter closing order can be altered, but only after 1 year from the date the legislative body has approved it. Now, this is something, if you're interested in, should be done for next year, because it has to go before the legislative body, which is a town meeting. And it probably has come up years in the past, but I don't ever remember us voting on it at a town meeting. So I would think that that's something that we should consider doing and putting it on the agenda for this town meeting, to authorize the board to do that. You know, I do have some concerns about this on some of the roads. We put several $1,000s into the McLucas Road this year. And, you know, plowing it narrow, not getting the snow off further enough, it's gonna cause, if we have some snow and some heavy spring rains, you've created a funnel. The water's gonna run right down. I'm thinking 60 or 70 loads of gravel up there. And that's all gonna be down at the bottom, because the water's just gonna eat through the ice, and then you're gonna lose your road. So it's an expense to the taxpayers, and one that, you know, we've gotta have some consideration for. It's also creates a danger when people try to go up there and there's no place to turn around. And with these GPSs and all of that stuff, people are always trying to get up the Blueberry Road from the you know, Star Hill end when there's no road. And we've been called to go up there and rescue cars. But the town also has a liability if these roads are plowed and we don't have some type of signage up there saying that this road is not open to through traffic. So it appears to me that we need to buy several signs, and if you want to have it done now, if you want us to have some signs made up at this time, we can do that, and we'll get them up. It states that these roads are closed to winter traffic. Now, we don't have any vote. It wouldn't be legal, but it would help, I would think, relieve some of our responsibility. If you take the Bennett Hill Road, somebody's privately plowing that, and that's a skating ring down through there. And if they get down where the bluff crosses, there's no guardrails. And if we're gonna allow this to happen, we've gotta do something, because there's open water there, and a car could easily go into, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 feet of water, and who would find them? There certainly is some liability there. So we also have the same thing on the Chadman's Ridge Road. So far, they haven't plowed that, but we do have somebody plowing the other end of it. They came here and wanted us to plow that for them, and they have a house in there and they're living in there. So I don't know what effect this has on that. So we have more than one issue here to look at. We have roads that we don't maintain, that are town roads, and people are privately plowing them to get to their residences.
Now, when we did Osby Hill Extension,
Yes.
we didn't take that to a town meeting vote.
To what?
That's closed winter maintenance.
It isn't now. We plow it.
Right.
That has been plowed for at least the last 10 years privately. And over the course of time, we've done more work on it. Of course, contractor that put a subdivision in there built part of that road.
Yep,
We only plowed part of what was built.
yep.
And when when the planning board had them upgrade the road, they upgraded it, I don't know, maybe 600 to 800 feet or 1,000 feet further than we were plowing it. So we have now put more gravel in there and cleaned it out, and we're plowing that all the way through. And the same thing with Scoot Away. We're plowing all the way through Scoot Away.
So, and Gary, maybe this is a question that kind of has to go through legal. If we can't technically close those roads at this point, because it's too late in the winter season, is there some kind of signage that we could put up, maybe instead of being worded as closed, to not maintained by the town of Waterboro during this winter season, specify like this year, and then make sure that we do it properly for next year?
I think we'd have signs made that said that we don't maintain this road for winter travel, and we have the signs made up and say exactly what they're gonna say from here on out. Why make 2 or 3 sets of signs? Why not make 1 set of signs? I don't believe that we would get in hot water for posting them signs. I think it would be better to err on the caution side rather than to just let it go the way it is. Because we've already had at least 2 vehicles get down in the Bennett Hill Road and couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Now, would we, this spring, have an ordinance made up that will allow the selectmen to make rules to close specific roads for the winter, so that the ordinance allows the selectmen to do that, and then every year we can close certain roads down, put up those signs that you're talking about making, and
It's got to be, you've either got to close them all for 10 years, or you just put an article in your warrant that authorizes the Board of Selectmen to do it.
I think the 1 year is more flexible, and you don't want to tie
Yeah,
yourself into it.
and what is it? It's going to be probably a non-argumentative article that people would be, understand it, and then you hold your public hearing once a year, and you designate the sections of roads that you don't want to plow and sand, and if something happens, then you move the signs up the road if you have to, but we keep it on a fairly level basis.
It's easy enough to do.
Yeah. Gordon, any comments? Questions?
I like the ordinance idea, but, once a year.
David?
No, I think Doug should go ahead and get the number of signs he needs and post them.
There's a couple other things that Christina put together this information, and some of it I had read before, some of it I never had read before. One thing I saw here that I would urge you to take into consideration, the town has the right to limit motor vehicle access to lakes and ponds within its town from sunset to sunrise. It's Title 30A, 3009, Authority of Municipal Officers to enact ordinances. And it clearly states that you can do that. And with the number of people that are going through the ice and the number of people that have been, this does not, if I read it correctly, it doesn't affect snowmobiles or four-wheelers when it stops cars and trucks from being taken on the ice after dark. And as the season, we could get that ordinance in so it would be a viable ordinance for, this spring. And would possibly save somebody from driving through the ice, because, it gets thin in places, especially getting on and off the ice at the boat ramp, and if you go up around the upper end, getting close to the outlet, the control structure, it gets thin. I just think that would be an ordinance that we would look at. It would be a safety issue to everybody. And the last thing I saw was I read about the sidewalks. And you can pass an ordinance that requires everybody in the town to clean the sidewalks in front of their residence. Or the operator of a business, or whoever's legally responsible has got to clear the sidewalks. I know they do that in the cities. I never realized it was a state law that you could create an ordinance. And anything else?
Now, the McClugus Road, Doug, there's a possibility of washing out. Is there anything that the town could do to help avoid that as winter goes on? Could we push those banks back at all or anything, the way it is?
At this point, David, I don't think there's too much. I think we'll keep an eye on it, and as the snow melts, if I see that we're having a problem, we'll try to take the small excavator up there and divert the water, dig holes through the snowbank or something, but we have the opportunity to do that, and we'll do whatever's necessary. I mean, there's really no place to push the snow, so I would probably just go up and take snow and put it out in the middle of the road and pack it and make a dam to divert the water off to the side of the road. So we can do that with our mini excavator.
Okay.
Anything else, Doug?
Gary, I didn't tell you, but we have it's one of the regulations that we have to follow is anytime we work within 250 feet of a water body, we have to have a certified person present when we're working there. Presently, there's nobody in town that I'm aware of certified. My crew is certified. So a class came up, and I forgot to tell you about it, but I enrolled Tommy in it.
Good.
And that's tomorrow. The time has just crept up. I would have told you, but I didn't realize it till my son just called me a few minutes ago and said, we got to go to that class tomorrow. So he'll be certified. Its certification lasts for 2 years. So
Where's the class, Doug?
Sanford.
Oh, good.
So it's,
You're certified.
I'm not certified.
Oh, you aren't? Okay.
No.
Good.
I have a lot of my employees are, and their certifications are running thin, so we're gonna take 5 people from our place tomorrow and Tommy. We had 6 slots set aside, so we're gonna get him certified, and then we'll have somebody out there doing it. And we're working on the town garage and
Certified to do what?
erosion control.
Oh, erosion control.
Yeah, erosion control. If you're gonna work within 250 feet of the water, you gotta be certified to do it. And,
It's good. Thanks for doing that. I didn't
Okay.
realize that class was coming right up.
so,
Thank you, Doug.
let
So-
me know if you want signs made up.
Does it need a vote from us?
Yes. Why
Okay.
don't, you want to make the motion?
Make a motion that the road commissioner be authorized to purchase the appropriate signs for road closures.
The second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Doug.
you.
See you later.
Moving on, selectmen's reports. We'll start down there. David?
No news
No news.
that I can think of.
All right. Gordon?
Too cold.
That's not new.
John, how do you top that?
We had a transfer station committee meeting last night. Dwayne, you could probably summarize it since you're chairing that, if I can defer to him with my report.
Which part, what happened at the meeting? Let's see. Instead of doing paper advertising, we looking to spend our money at another sign right at the transfer station. When you pull in, there's a sign there that tells you when your stickers are due. We want to purchase another sign to put next to it for things that we changed, like we voted to bring the price of tires down from $4 to $1, which still covers us for our expenses getting rid of them.
For, a certain amount of pricing that people should know about, as we discussed the last time I was up here. So that's the direction we want to go in with our budget. Clint's going to be seeing Gary shortly with the, proposal on that, with the money. Let's see, Dennis is going to get into the recycling for the videos. Paper bag has come up again. We don't know where we're going to go with that at this time. Curbside pickup, I got a response from Karen from Pine Tree, and they're working on some numbers. That's based on 62 miles of town roads, which obviously doesn't include Arrowhead or any private roads, but we figured that was a good place to start and get a general idea of where we can go from there. And the rest was pretty much haphazard. The meeting wasn't too long. We're going to look into the school budget that was voted upon. Apparently there's some money in there for them to handle their recycling, which ought to help the town out greatly. And we're just going to check in and see how that's going. Yeah, that's pretty much where we stood. John, did I miss anything? Got to take care
No, I
of
think you got.
questions?
I think, one of the things we're, toward the end of the meeting, we're looking at getting recycling rates up, and when it really comes down, you can educate, and you get from 17 or 18%, maybe up to 20%, but if we want to get up to 40% up and around that area, it's curbside pickup or pay for bags or a combination of both, and I think that discussion is not closed by any means.
No.
Just out of curiosity, what was the rationale for thinking that curbside service would help increase
Statistics.
the rate?
There's
I mean,
I'm not sure if I brought
people
that.
still have to separate the stuff out. That seems to be what the problem is they're just not
But picking it up, if you say you have a recycle bag and you have a trash bag, and you're putting recyclables in the trash bag, I mean, you got a big chunk of cardboard in there, you say, next time we're not picking this up, or we're not picking it up,
Yeah,
So,
Clint's got a
and you
paperwork
control
that
it
shows,
at the house.
all the breakdowns of towns that actually do the curbside and the paper bag, and their recycling rates are way higher than the towns that don't. And that's what that's based on. That's why the subject keeps coming up.
Gary?
Just to be clear, we're talking about curbside trash pickup and curbside recycling pickup.
Yes.
Not just the trash.
No, both,
Right.
exactly.
Thank you.
And going right to Eco Main with it. We're talking about keeping the dump open probably a third of what it is now, just for, larger items and things that should come up that obviously the truck can't pick up. The companies are concerned with, there's a certain amount of roads that they can't turn around in and whatnot. Generally speaking, when it comes to like Arrowhead, we're going to push to the trucks will travel where the buses can travel, the trucks will travel. Anything else is going to have to come out to the road. But again, the first numbers we're going to get is going to be without that. It's just going to be straight on roads, and then we'll take it from there. It's a good place to start.
So that 62 miles is without any interior Lake Arrowhead roads at this
Correct.
time? Okay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. The other thing, I was not at the library meeting, but they got some pretty extensive notes here, and just to kind of quickly go through them, they're working on a community survey still, and there's pickup spots here at the town hall, at the library also, where you can make out the survey. It'll be very helpful to the library for future planning. They're looking to pick up a drop box, a new drop box, and there's money from the Maggie Taylor fund, and also if there's any need for supplemental funds, the Friends have some money that they'll be putting into a drop box. That's a drop box, meaning the box outside the library, you put the books in. Then they're got a book sale planned and started, and there's a whole bunch of other small activities that are going on. They're busy group with special activities for adults and for children. The example being a gluten-free workshop for people interested in that. Friends have discussed purchasing and level of ancestry.com for genealogy. So they're busy.
Good. The only thing I have is just a reminder that this Friday at 8:30 in the York County Superior Court is going to be the oral arguments from the attorneys related to the Budget Committee. So that's at 8:30. The attorney for the Budget Committee and the attorney for the county both have 45 minutes to make their arguments in front of Justice O'Neill, and then we'll be awaiting his response after that. Town Administrator's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To start off, I guess to tell people that this is old news a little bit, but we said goodbye, a sad goodbye to Tina Smith, Code Enforcement Secretary of nearly 9 years, and we wish her well and everything she does in the future. We will miss her. We already have. Both Tom and Mark and myself are editing the job description. We'll get that position posted as soon as we can. A total of 128 lien notices will go up before the end, before the end of this week for the 2012 taxes. If you get one of these letters, it'll say your payments must be made by 5 p.m. Monday, March the 17th, or the town will own your property. And I've been directed by the Selectmen that the town's going to be more aggressive in collecting these taxes and making sure that if we do foreclose on the property, we're actually going to take possession and sell it to someone else. So please, if you do get one of these letters, come on in and pay your back taxes, at least the 2012s, if not everything else. I'm sorry that Doug left, because if you haven't been out to the Public Works Garage, you ought to go out and see it. The work that they've been doing, they've got the addition closed in, weather tight, the heat is on, insulation is in process, and they've saved the taxpayers here a ton of money in doing all this work, pretty much with just Doug and Tommy, in framing that building up. We got 4 bids for the fire department's 1999 pickup that we had put out to bid. We put it out to bid because it needed over $6,000 of work. About half of that was body work, brakes and tires, so we decided that, the Selectmen actually decided we were going to sell that and move on to either no vehicle or a different vehicle for runaround. Pete Cody bid $333. Mark Roberts put in 2 bids. He put in one and then figured that wasn't enough, I guess, and came back and gave us a higher bid, which is fine. But GAS Motors, or Gas Motors of Brentwood, New Hampshire, bid a little over $1,000, and the bid was awarded to them, and they probably come in and pick up the title this week. I talked to the CES engineering firm engineers today, and the report I was supposed to get by the end of December, I was guaranteed I would get by the end of this week.
Sounds like the audit.
Pretty close, yes. I won't be surprised if DEP asks for some additional testing to see where this plume of contaminants has gone over the last 60 plus years. So if we need some money to do that, Brownfield's EPA money, or EPA Brownfield's money, may be a source for that. I'm not sure. We'll get that report and then read it and go from there and see if that's relevant. Item 6, our workman's comp insurance costs have gone through the roof, almost a 50% increase. And what they did is, it's a 3-year window that they look at to give you your rates. We dropped 2009, which had almost no claims at all. We picked up 2012, which had some heavy claim action. So that's the reason why. Big increase. The public should know that we've got an early draft budget that's incomplete, but a good start. I emailed that to the Selectmen and the Budget Committee last week. I need the help of the Selectmen and the Budget Committee for CIP prioritization, I guess. We need to take a look at all the laundry list of things and see whether or not I've come up with anything new, or what I've missed, actually. It's probably more relevant to see what should be on the list that we should be thinking about over the next few years. We certainly can't get all this done in 1 year unless we borrow some money. I'm not a fan of borrowing money, but when you need to, you can do that if we need to. Deering Ridge Road survey work started today between Hooper Hill and Edith Huey roads. What Doug's having done there, Sebago Technics is doing a road profile, and then the road is going to be straightened, some dips and doos will be filled in, and then that will actually be reconstructed over the next couple of years as funding is available. There's a lot more to do up there before and after that section, but this is the worst section. And we still need budget committee members if anybody's interested in serving between now and town meeting. And that's it for me, thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Tammy, I did think of one thing, it's a little sketchy, but the Massapequa Middle School, a certain group, I can't remember what it was, is having a food collection until February 12th, I believe. And it's going to be donated to the York County Food Shelters. And you can drop the food off at the middle school office. So I'm sure they'd appreciate any donations that could come in.
Gordon, did I hear you?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. On number 5, regarding additional testing. Am I mistaken, but I thought that we were told some time ago that any testing, the cost of that, DEP was going to pick up as part of this.
They've been paying for everything to date. They've paid CES engineering firm for everything to date. I don't know if that offer still stands for the next phase of either testing or remediation. Good question.
Yeah, because I thought we were assured that they were going to be picking up the cost, and that's why, we continued with this process. And on number 6, where is the bulk of our workman's comp claims coming from now? Is it across the board, or is there, like, say, the transfer station, is the bulk of them coming from there? And if so, what measures can we take for safety prevention program so that we can get our rates down? That's a substantial hike from 32 to 49.
Yeah.
And
The injuries that I've seen are very minor in everyday activities, and that's hard to prevent that when you're lifting a case of books or just turning around. So it's not anything that would scream out as safety oriented that we should fix with classes or training or equipment. It's just normal routine motions, from what I've seen for 2012.
Is that something that little training as far as lifting proper, sometimes it's just a little workshop in lifting with your knees and legs
Yeah.
rather than with your back.
You can certainly do that. MMA's work, what's the name of it? Safety Works. I mean, they can come down and do any of those classes down here, and they charge little or nothing to do that, so that's a possibility. I was underwhelmed by the cause of those injuries that were so very expensive.
John?
The CIP projects, that's something we can put together with, and rather than having 2 meetings, have the budget committee meeting with the selectmen and do that together, or do you see that as a separate process?
Well, absolutely. I'm in favor of those 2 groups meeting together all the time. I hope they come next Tuesday night.
Yep.
There's only 2 of them so far. I hope they're available.
Did we send an invitation to them?
I have not.
So probably a good thing to do.
Yep. They did get the budget.
Yep.
I can't remember if I put that in the body of that email. I don't think I did.
All right, moving on to new business. Discuss vote on a committee appointment. We have Leo Bennett, who has applied to be a member of the Economic Development Committee. Is there a motion to appoint him?
I will move that we accept Leo Bennett for the committee.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Next is discuss vote to approve appointments for the Registrar of Voters and Deputy Registrars of Voters and ballot clerks with terms to expire 12/31/2015. So this is appointments that we have to do every 2 years. Here's the list for this year. So we have for voter registrar, Yvette Murray, the deputy town clerk. For deputy voter registrars, we have Nancy Johnson, Judy Carl, James Carl, Diane Holden, Carolyn Wyden, Judith Durney, Bridget McCollum, and John Seary. Ballot clerks, Nancy Johnson, Judy Carl, Carolyn Wyden, Bridget McCollum, John Seary, Robert Powers, Claudette Smith, Roberta Gallant, Jennifer Roberts, Catherine Hensel, James Carl, Carolyn Wyden, I don't know why I'm seeing some of these names on here twice, Diane Holden, Robert Bobiel, Teresa Story, Joseph Aragatino, Judy Durney. So it'd be 16 ballot clerks, 9 Democratic, 6 Republican, and 1 Green Independent. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'd move that we appoint the previously named.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay.
We do need to make that correction, though. Can't be the D and an R.
Carolyn
Carolyn
Wyden.
Wyden.
Yep.
Yep.
So we'll have to get that one straightened out.
Is there a reason why we designate their party affiliation? Do we have to have so many of each?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can't have all of one party. You have to show.
Disparity?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Discuss vote to approve and sign a municipal quitclaim deed. Gary, could you just go over this with us?
Well, don't have a thorough history on this, but I guess taxes were paid back along. The lien was paid up, but it was not discharged by the town. So I believe it was the title company, if I'm not, is that correct, Christina? That contacted us
The
to
title company contacted us, yeah.
correct this oversight on our part, which is why this quitclaim deed is before you. They paid up quite some time ago.
So this is just fixing,
This is
completing something that wasn't.
to clear the chain of title from a lien that was enforced but has been paid off and should have been discharged some time ago, I guess.
Okay. So is there any questions about that?
So we need a quick claim deed to discharge that? That's the procedure?
That's what they sent to us, yes.
I think we've done these before. Seems like I remember seeing some when taxes got paid up. So I would need a motion from the board to approve and sign the quitclaim deed.
So moved.
There's-
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Next, discuss vote to schedule a goal workshop. John said he'd like to see us have a workshop to touch base on our goals. February 4th, we're meeting to do the budget. So did we want to get together on February 18th, which would be the next Tuesday night that we'd have off?
That'd be great. From Yeah.
Do budget and
halfway
goals.
through the year, good time to check on the goals.
Goals as the
Just-
lead, and
What, on the 18th, or?
you could certainly talk about budget on the 18th if you wanted to.
So we're gonna do the budget on the 4th, and we'll do goals on the 18th, and then if we decide we've got some budget stuff we need to squeak into, we can
You can do those in
add that
regular
on
meetings.
later. Yeah,
Yep, okay.
okay. So February 18th work? Okay,
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. All right, moving on, old business, discuss vote to approve the social media policy, and Gordon, this has been something you've been working on, so I'll turn that over to you.
Yeah, the one that you got back from the attorney's office was a little difficult to follow at first. I had spoken with Gary earlier today, who expressed basically the same sentiment. But once you do sift through all the strikeouts, strike-throughs and so forth, it essentially contains all the information that I had included in the draft that you got, that actually said draft across there. And although they did change the location of some of the areas from one paragraph to another, it's still incorporated in there. So all I would have to do is just take and clean it up so that the final document doesn't contain all the strike-throughs and so forth, and it's a more readable document. But other than that, it contains all the provisions. It covers all the employees of the town, anybody that works for us in any capacity, whether they be an intern or a volunteer or a committee member or so forth. And I think it's a fair balance between the interests of the town and preserving the freedom of speech aspects of the employees and other persons that might have occasion to work for the town. So I think that we've reached the balance. Of course, as with anything, it could be tested at some point in the court, but that's a risk that you run with any ordinance or any policy that you enact. So I think that we've taken about all the steps that we can do to provide a well-worded document that's going to take care of any future issues that we might have with that.
Any questions, comments?
Is this ready for are you ready for a vote on this?
I would say we're ready for a vote, unless the board would rather see what the final document's going to look like without all the strike-throughs.
Personally, I'm for the major content, and the wherefore tos, I'm not really excited about. So, if you make a motion, I'll second it.
I would rather see the final document.
I would too.
Okay, so that seems to be the general consensus. I'll prepare the final document and have it ready for February 4th?
February 11th.
February
It's just a
11th.
workshop next week.
Okay, February 11th. All right. And I'll email you out a copy of it prior to that.
Okay. Thank you for all your work on that, Gordon. I know that's gone back and forth several times. Next on the agenda, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the January 14th regular meeting.
So,
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Pending decisions, we have discussed making policy changes relative to the use of social media, which I think we can take that off because we're going to have the final vote, so that one can go. Gary, how are we doing with the Public Works Department?
Well, progressing, in bits and pieces, I guess. Had some conversation with the board, and you saw a note in the budget that I sent you. I think next week we ought to take a hard look at, do we want to have a long-term vision of having Public Works employees work at both the transfer station and out on the road with Tommy and Doug? There's some real advantages to that, some real disadvantages as well, but I think we need to do that. Tommy should not be out there working the chainsaw by himself. And if there could be more than just one person, but several people that would be working at the transfer station that could go out and work with him, we'd get a lot more road work done.
I thought that was the objective of combining them anyway, to utilize personnel.
If that was clear to everybody, then I would say, yes, you're right. I don't know that we've talked about it in enough detail to make it clear so that I think it's clear in the public's mind, or maybe all of staff's mind. But I'm in favor of taking a hard look at that and probably making it work, just for the convenience of having a lot more people being able to work at the transfer station and vice versa on those other days,
Right.
work out on the road. So,
I would think that'd have two benefits. One, for us, the flexibility, and then for the individual people employed by us is more job stability if you can do several different things. Sometimes in seasons, the road work drops off, and if the person can work at the transfer station too. It's so anyway, I think it's a good move.
I don't know that we'd be saving any money. I think for the people that the jobs we'd be asking them to do in Public Works are probably going to be paid a little bit more money than what we do down at the transfer station, rightly so. Some physical requirements you're going to have to be able to qualify to get those positions, be able to do that work. Maybe we need another CDL in there, I don't know. Maybe in time we'd have a trailer that we'd be pulling our excavator. We don't need that now. There's plenty of trucks around here to haul our equipment, so CDL is not required. But
I think that we probably ought to do an assessment of the capabilities of individuals that are currently down there. 'Cause I'm not sure that some of them can be out wielding a chainsaw.
Yeah.
You know, or else our workman's comp claims, I think, are going to rise dramatically.
Well, I think that kind of goes along with if we're changing the job description, like we've done in other positions here, then you have to rehire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe what you have is, as you change, if you say, okay, we want all our employees to be able to work in both places, but over a 2 or 3 year period, it may say, okay, these people here are just on the transfer station, new hires come in, we put them in both, we hire them for both jobs.
Well, what we heard Dwayne say, John brought up, transfer station, if we start picking up trash years down the road and it goes right to Eco Main, we're not gonna need the facility we have there now. That's a possibility. That's not gonna happen quickly, but in fact, we don't have to have it open the 3.5 days it is right now. It's a possibility.
All right. Also under pending decisions, I guess we need to put on there, the ordinance regarding the closing of winter roads. And that's something we'll need to get to work on, because we're gonna have that for public. We'll have to get it done, have a public hearing, and have it ready for town meeting.
Do you want to do it with an ordinance, or do you want to do it just with a town meeting article?
Probably just with the article would be the easiest, I would think.
It would.
But we at least have to, even if we're not gonna do it as an ordinance, we need to get it ready.
Mhm.
Get a list of the roads and,
Yeah, I would think also we'd have to pass this information on to the planning board. If what Doug has said is accurate about building houses, you can't do anything for a year,
yeah,
so they need to know,
And road review.
yeah.
yep.
That's only on the 10-year moratorium. on it,
No,
right?
No, that would be for
year
any.
to year.
So if we voted this year in June to close Road A for
Oh, and
the
somebody
winter,
built,
and
and somebody built in
builds and-
November, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
I was thinking what we do is vote on the ordinance that allows the selectmen to make that decision, and the decision may be made in August, so the road commissioner at that time, whoever's in charge, Gary comes to us, and says, here's a list of roads, and we vote on them.
It'd be nice to be able to make that choice or unmake that choice anytime and not be beholden to a
Yeah.
12-month time period.
Well, let's bang out some pros and cons to both and continue the conversation, and then, but we need to get this decided sooner rather than later. If we're gonna do a town meeting vote.
I don't know if you can do that, Gary, can you? If it's a state statute and they give you guidelines.
That's a possibility. We'd have to look into seeing, we're being less restrictive than the statute, and usually they don't allow that, so
Yeah.
you might be right.
Does the statute itself say 1 year?
It says 1 to 10 years. If you don't specify a time frame like 5 years, then it's automatically for 1 year.
Okay, so you can't do it in 6-month increments?
Nope.
Okay.
So the week's action list, we need to get some invites out to the budget committee members to attend the workshop next Tuesday night. Gordon's gonna put the polish on the social media policy and have that available for us at the February 11th meeting. Discussion of agenda items, we need to have a discussion about town report. We'll have the social media policy on there. Is there anything else that anyone can think of now? If not, just send an email or whatnot and let us know.
I'd like a follow-up on the situation regarding the garage up there. I'd like the CEO to come back.
Oh,
and
the
report to
Lada.
us. And also to come back, we ought to have a discussion on what type of plan we want to put together regarding those other 10 or 12 buildings that he came up with. I mean, I don't want to just see in limbo that he's got these photos and
He's sending out letters tomorrow.
Yeah.
The letters are going out tomorrow that says the structures have to be removed.
okay.
So
and-
we'll have them update us on what,
You
where we are with that.
you can have an update when he's updating the first one.
Yep.
Tell us if he's got any, if he gets responses.
Is that letter going to have a timetable on it when we need to do this? Like, we're going to give them within the
I
next
don't know.
year? Or?
Probably should have asked him, I think.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I haven't seen the draft letter. Don't be afraid to invite people in.
Yep.
It works.
That's a good
Down the
idea.
road, if they don't respond, have them come in here to your meeting.
Okay. So we'll get him in that next meeting for both of those kinds of
I
things.
just don't want to see it
I'll,
hang in limbo, you know.
Could you just touch base with Mark tomorrow and ask him, when he sends those letters out, if he could just send a draft to the selectmen so we have it as an FYI? Thank you. Items needing signature are the minutes of the January 14th meeting, the abatement book, and there's quite a hefty
sign that?
abatements.
Yeah, I did.
The supplemental tax warrant and the quitclaim deed. Reminders, Thursday, February 3rd, the Community Garden Committee is meeting at 6 PM at the Old Town Hall. Wednesday,
There's a bunch of them.
Oh, it was from the other week.
February 5th at 7 PM is a Planning Board meeting at the Town Hall. Thursday, February 6th, Conservation Commission is meeting at the Old Town Hall at 6 PM. Saturday, February 8th at 8:30 is a cribbage tournament at the Old Town Hall. Monday, February 10th at 5:15 PM is a 2020 Master Planning Committee, followed at 6:30 by the 12-town group. Tuesday, February 11th at 6 PM is a Selectmen's meeting. Wednesday, February 12th at 5:30 is the Economic Development Committee, and at 6 PM is a Road Review Committee. And also next week, February 4th, on Tuesday at 6 PM, the Selectmen are having a budget workshop, the town administrator and hopefully the Budget Committee. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Good night.